What is up, guys? We are on the 13th shelf of my drama section. We are starting off with Pay It Forward with Kevin Spacey and Helen Hunt. This is a fantastic movie. The ending to this movie is one of the best I've ever seen. Definitely an emotional ending for sure. Haley Joel Osment, beyond this and The Sixth Sense, never really did much. That was good anyway. But this one is definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. It's a fantastic movie. Then we have The Perfect Storm with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg. This to me was back when George Clooney was in his prime. I know George Clooney has a lot of money and doesn't really need to work on anything he doesn't want to work on anymore. But I wish he would go back to making more movies like this. Mark Wahlberg obviously still makes amazing movies as well. I love the director of this movie, Wolfgang Peterson. One of my favorite directors for sure. Always does solid work. Fantastic cast of this movie. This is a fantastic movie. You would never thought a movie about fishermen at sea would be an interesting movie, but this definitely delivers. Then we have Michael with John Travolta. Another fantastic movie. John Travolta was on a roll this year when he did Phenomenon the same year. But fantastic movie, very well done. Definitely a good movie to watch when you're feeling down someday. Just great movie. Then we have Matchstick Men with Nicolas Cage. Straight-to-DVD release Nicolas Cage. And this movie was great. Con Man, the whole deal. Ridley Scott directing it. Hans Zimmer even did the score for it. But I mean, worth checking out if you're a big Nicolas Cage fan for sure. Then we have Ocean's 11, the best movie of this trilogy easily. Fantastic cast, especially at the time you didn't see huge casts like this, with a bunch of A-list people in the same movie. But you definitely got it in this movie, and it was a great movie too. I mean, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Matt Damon were fantastic together. You had a great supporting cast. Julia Roberts did fantastic in this movie. Even Andy Garcia, who I'm not really a very big fan of. But they all did great in this movie. Leave comments down below on what you think is the best movie of this trilogy. From that, we go to Ocean's 12. Nowhere near as good as the original. Nowhere near as good. Out of the three of them, this was my least favorite. I mean, everyone comes back, and they even add, like, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Bruce Willis even has a cameo in this movie. But, I mean, this was hard to watch. At least for me, it was. Then we have Ocean's 13. Not as good as number 1, but way better than number 2. I'm happy they made this movie just because I didn't want them to end it on Ocean's 12. But this is a great movie. I love the addition of Al Pacino. Just worth checking out. I had to have all three of them because I am a completist. I like to have all of a certain series, just like with movies like The Matrix. Resurrections was horrible, but I had to have all of them, so. Then we have Apollo 13. This is a classic. I would consider this a classic. I mean, this movie has everything from drama that'll make you cry to action. It keeps your attention from start to finish. Everything a movie should be. Tom Hanks and Ron Howard and the entire cast, everything just came together for this movie to make it just a perfect movie. And considering it's only PG as well, is a wow to me. Check this out for sure if you've never seen it before, but I'm sure almost everyone has. Then we have The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. I mean, I've heard a lot of news about Michael Orr suing the family and all that stuff, so I don't know what that's all about. But as a movie, maybe not as fact, but as a movie, this was a fun watch. It was, was it a absolutely fantastic watch? I wouldn't say that or go that far, but it was a fun watch. If you like sports and upbeat stories and lifting up and things like that, this will do it for you for sure. Then we have Runaway Jury with John Cusack, Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, and Rachel Weisz. Love this movie. Dustin Hoffman does great in this movie. John Cusack in his prime. I'm a huge Gene Hackman fan. I want to pick up some of his older work and check that stuff out. And just an absolutely amazing movie. Very well done. Amazing cast. This is a movie I watch at least once a year. I love the twists and turns. Kind of like A Few Good Men was kind of the same way for me. So this would definitely go as one of my favorite drama movies for sure. Then we've got Hardball with Keanu Reeves. Great motivational sports movie. You got, Keanu Reeves is an amazing actor. Michael B. Jordan was even in this movie. So that was cool. Fantastic cast, great director. Worth checking out if you haven't seen it before. Then you got Glory Road with Josh Lucas. Big fan of Josh Lucas, underrated actor. Hasn't really been doing a lot lately, which is sad. But it's an okay movie. It wasn't the best. Coach Carter was better, but it was still a great story. A different story, different cast. You don't want to watch the same movie over and over and over again. So you like to see other stories. And it was made by Disney, so it was a solid movie. Definitely check it out. Then we have Lions for Lambs. You can't go wrong with this cast. It doesn't get better than these three actors right here. And then Robert Redford directing it as well. He's a great director. Hopefully, I know he retired from acting. Hopefully he doesn't retire from directing as well. But I mean, even Tom Cruise does fantastic in this movie as well. Say what you want about him as, being into Scientology and all that stuff, Tom Cruise always delivers. Then we have Take the Lead with Antonio Banderas. This came out the year where, Step Up and all these other dance movies were all coming out. And, you would have thought that, this is going to be the worst of all of them. I bought this back when I was buying every movie that came out on Tuesdays before I had Netflix. And I was very happily surprised by this movie. This movie is absolutely fantastic. Ballroom dancing into the ghetto. Dancing, in structure helps people stay out of trouble. Great story. Check this out for sure if you've never seen it before. Then we have Step Up with Channing Tatum. Big fan of this series. This movie was great. It wasn't my favorite in the series, but it was definitely great. I prefer the second one over this one, but still a very solid watch. Then we have Step Up to the Streets, which I think is the best Step Up movie out of all of them. The dance scenes were absolutely fantastic in this movie and were not beat in sequel movies. The soundtrack to this movie was absolutely fantastic. I wish Channing Tatum maybe would have been in this movie instead of just having a small cameo, but such is life. Then we have Step Up 3. Not as good as Step Up 2. Maybe tied with Step Up 1. But still worth a watch. Then we have Step Up Revolution. I would say this is probably the second best in this series. I have not seen the one that comes after this. I do own it, but I have not watched it yet. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Leave comments down below if you've seen that one. But I love this movie. This was a great movie, great setting, great visuals, the whole deal. Just not as good as 2. Then we have Brothers with Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal. Fantastic movie. Tobey Maguire definitely shows his range in this movie, why he doesn't get other movie roles that get as much attention as this movie. I don't know. Maybe he chooses not to do those movies. But this is an amazing movie. I mean, the 3 of these people have such great chemistry and bounce well off of each other. Wow. Then we have Ladder 49 with John Travolta and Joaquin Phoenix. Love this movie. Fantastic movie. Probably the best firefighting movie I've seen. I would go that far for sure. Great story. Amazing cast. I mean, there's not enough good things to say about this movie. Then we have Coach Carter. Better Than Glory Road. Samuel L. Jackson carries this movie very well. The supporting cast is good. Shanti's in the movie. Even a young Channing Tatum. Worth checking out for sure. And then we have an absolute classic in Braveheart with Mel Gibson. Deserved every Oscar it got and more. I mean, this is everything a classic should be, just like Wall Street for me. I could watch this over and over and over again. Then we have Miracle. I was not expecting to like this movie, and I ended up loving this movie. The only reason I was skeptical about this movie is beyond Kurt Russell, I didn't really know a lot of the actors. They were all more smaller part kind of actors in other movies. So I didn't think that they would be able to carry a movie on their own. But the story and the directing and the writing made this movie phenomenal. 100% check this movie out. Then we have LA Confidential. Amazing cast, very good writing. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a classic, but this is bordering on being a classic for sure for me. Then we have Heist with Gene Hackman. Big Gene Hackman fan. He does fantastic in this movie. I love Delroy Lindo in this movie as well. Another underrated actor who should be in more movies in my opinion. But I mean, this is, I love twists and turns and not knowing what's going on until the very end. And this movie delivers that. Then we have Space Cowboys. You know, amazing cast. I like the old timers going into space. Not a huge fan of Donald Sutherland and James Garner, but I love Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones. And they do fantastic in this movie, especially Tommy Lee Jones. You know, Clint Eastwood, another one of those guys who always does solid work. Then lastly, we have Coyote Ugly. Fun story. You know, I guess it's based off a true story as well. But great story, great cast. Very well written, very well acted. You care about all the characters. It has you from start to finish. I don't know what the difference is between the unrated and the regular cut, but either way, check this movie out. But that will do it for my drama section. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also on Letterboxd. I have the link over in the profile of my channel here. Otherwise, until next time, guys, have a good day.